Hey everyone, it's me again, and I am back with more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and I'm gonna give a little bit of a quick update on everything. Uploads are gonna be very erratic for a while, as of when I'm recording this and when I upload this. I am a senior in high school, so I have a lot of stuff going on, and it's just not gonna work out with my schedule to have a video up every week. Also, I'm lazy, so it also might just be that, but for the most part, I have things going on that I need to work out and stuff like that. And Wednesday uploads are not happening, at least for a while. And then on top of that, I do plan on playing other games other than this, as you know that I uploaded, starting High School Romance. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get back to that, but I do plan on playing Hollow Knight, once I get it, obviously, but, yeah, I do plan on doing that game too, so, yeah, and for what I know, this trial is going to take about an hour and a half. I might record this differently, like, do one part at one point, and then stop and start a new recording, just to make sure that I can get everything in, and it not end up losing its shit, like it usually does. So, let's get on with it. Ahem, so, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind, or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. Oh boy. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. Yep. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. I don't want to talk to people, I just want to get on there. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Wait, he redecorated? I don't remember what it looked like the first time. Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. You're rip-raring to go. I thought it was you're rip-raring and ready to go. I thought that's what it was. Never mind. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all. Of course you don't. Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. Sounds like you're in a fucking class, and I guess it kinda is. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. He's gonna say that every time, I bet. I can't remember. Do you want to see the data? Yes, I would love to. Yes, I want to overwrite. So, let me take a quick look at everything before I get going. So, the Monokuma file. Yeah, cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object, killed instantly. Good. Sakura, yeah, she declined several times. The one that killed her. Some assume that due to her inferiority complex. Okay. So, to unlock. Okay, so we got the card swipe. Yeah, the ones from the people that died. Yeah, one of them's broken. Leon's, they're assuming is the one that's broken. Right, Genocide Jack. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, the carpets are switched. The posters are switched. Chihiro's handbook is missing. Yeah, the disappearing stain because the carpet was switched. Yep, the lamp, which is where the extension cord is the thing that they use to tie up Chihiro, and then Celeste finding. Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, let's get that on. Let's see, got that. Okay, so I got everything I have equipped, and I'm gonna finish preparations and we're gonna get going.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Sorry, I'm checking to make sure the audio is working and that I'm actually recording. Okay.
Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
It's always a great place to start. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Okay. Well, yeah, locker room dumbbell. Okay, I'm gonna let it go through the one time, and I'll go back and do it like I said I would do before.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
It's that, but I'm gonna let it go through.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh, nope, it'll be that.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Okay. Weapon had to be at the scene of the crime. There was something with a blood stain on it.
Chihiro's. It appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument could it have...
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, it's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime?
No.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
I'm gonna see if auto works better for this.
Looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Of course you do.
What? For real?
I bet you it's a lie.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
I highly doubt that. Genocide Jack is the fiendish killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element has been added to non-stop debate. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely! For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Oh, I remember this shit. God. Your truth bullets will disappear if these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep these white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. I already know it's not. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. It's gonna be awful. Actually, no, it gets worse in the second game.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Okay. The thing Byakuya showed me in the archive, one look at that, and anyone would be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go
I'm
through
sure.
slow again.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No,
Go.
it's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
Of course it is. You guess.
That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
But this one's already wrong.
According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
Yeah, one of them's already wrong.
The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
Can we go back to
But
Boob Lust? That
more
was great.
important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Now, who
Why don't
knows?
you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to be the positioning of the body. How the victim is positioned.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
Well, yeah.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
But he's...
No fucking way!
But they held
You're saying
her up.
Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What? He held... Wait.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Wait. Okay. But the body was hung wrong. It wasn't scissors. I remember that from the actual file. It was scissors that held all of them up, not being that. But anyway, let's continue.
What? Hey, okay, phobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Split personality. Right? Oh, what's the word? Oh, it is. Okay. Is it really schizo? Oh my god. I need another O. Schizo.
Now I
Wow.
understand.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Knowing her,
Toko's
yeah.
strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I guess. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed!
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm not doing that. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? Yep. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. Good. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different. Oh yeah, that's what happens.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Seems like it. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
Okay, first off, I think in the original Japanese they have a different name for Genocide Jack. It's just, I told my friend about it who has seen the anime of this. When I told them that Genocide Jack was the name for the murderer, I don't remember what the other term was, or the other name, but it was definitely caught him off guard when I said that.
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
She probably told
I
him.
do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Exactly. 'Cause you're an asshole.
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
And you're a sellout
She told
piece of
me
shit.
a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Fuck you.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
No, he's an asshole. How can you... She's a fucking masochist.
Promised. I can't believe you lied.
I
You
can.
have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
You're still an asshole.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
But if someone entrusts you with a secret, you don't tell people the secret, you fucking asshole.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
And I bet you she didn't because of
But
what
in
you keep
spite
saying.
of that promise,
I bet you he suspended Chihiro. I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. Okay, first off, I bet you he put Chihiro up just because of how he's acting and how he's like, ooh, now I know a little secret. I can use that against her to be an asshole.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
Again, he's an asshole.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
You probably did because you're an asshole.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Fuck you.
I hate you.
Thank you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Yes, he does. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Hello.
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Oh my god.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Oh my god.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Oh my god.
What the fuck is this?
Exactly.
What happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality!
Yep.
So what if
This is
one of them
made in
happens to be a
2010, by the way.
serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So them using the term split personality more than this dissociative identity disorder has to do with the time period this came from, so that's what I'm just putting that out there for anyone who would get offended by that, which if you get offended by that, you shouldn't be on my channel. Thank you.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
It's not how that works.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Oh
Yes,
boy.
well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how
You're
every
neither.
inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Really?
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Oh my god. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell told you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
You're right next to him, I just realized that.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Oh boy.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Okay.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
It's not a lie.
Necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
I don't know, but that wasn't that much of a lie.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre
There
fashion.
wasn't scissors.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Not really.
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all this. Okay. Back to normal stuff. Yeah, the status of the body is wrong.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Nope.
What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Oh, I already know she didn't. Okay, I have to just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must be the answer. That must have the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right. The body is suspended wrong.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to...
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Nope.
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Exactly.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
How are the body
you don't
suspended?
know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh boy.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Yeesh.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Oh my god.
This
Why?
is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. One
clear difference between the murders And the photos from the other genocide Jack cases look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different.
Exactly. Oh, well, yeah, that.
In the genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini,
Maybe,
then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
maybe stop using that
Could you please
reference.
stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Apparently, no.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. How the body... How is the clear difference? What was used as a suspender?
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her?
An extension
used some
cord.
kind of rope to hang her up by her
It's
wrist.
an extension cord.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word,
Oh,
you really
Chihiro's a
didn't
girl.
notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each genocide Jack case.
Chihiro's a girl.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
And all the victims are men.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Exactly. Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it? Yeah, Chihiro's a girl. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Because Chihiro was her lover. That's it. That's the answer. Okay. It's because Chihiro was a girl.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
Oh boy.
What are you talking about?
In all the genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all boys. Slash men. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Oh my god. Yeah, these are all male names. I'm not reading all of them again. I read them before.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Oh boy.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
No, you're not.
The hell is wrong with you?
You're next, apparently. I don't know.
I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
What does it have to do with killing people? I could never figure that out. I still want to know what that has to do with killing people. What? If you're a... What is that, a Fujoshi? I think that's what... I'm not looking it up now. I don't care. Okay. That still is... Whatever.
Now I'm on the fast track back to becoming a full-fledged Phantom!
Oh
So
my god.
since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
No.
Would
So
an
she just
Italian chef
explained.
suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
Again, cooking
I
in
have too much
this.
passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
Oh boy.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a
Okay.
different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Uh-huh.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly, cur.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That
Yeah.
does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Of course not. Because you love
Who
it.
would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Someone who could lift it?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class, envy of the entire world scissors!
I don't think
Okay,
anyone wants your
whatever.
scissors.
There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
They're in her hands. They're in like her pockets or something. Yep. 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 Yep.
She's fully equipped!
Of course.
Right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you.
Oh my god. Woman, please.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway.
It wasn't even a rope, it was an extension cord.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Yes, actually.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
That was the point. Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied Genocide Jack cases. Yeah, it would be Byakuya.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
Of course.
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
Yeah.
Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack files before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
He at least suspended the body.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Of course.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Oh, no.
What's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
The fact that you wanted us to find it.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? How would you know that specifically? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room. Yeah, he was very quick
You
to do
wanted
that.
to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
It's because you put her
Nothing
there.
strange about that, I'd say.
I do.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. Oh yeah, I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Next, we're going to add something called the true flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. Oh. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. Okay, with stuff like this, I'm probably gonna have to go back multiple times, so just bear with me. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Okay. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Okay, that's wrong automatically.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it.
Of course.
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
No.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
I bet you.
What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I've realized there's a clear contradiction there. I guess it doesn't make sense how he could have known before we even found it. Okay, I need to make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting, but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the...
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
I bet you that's what it
I would
is.
suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
There was no time. What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh boy. Yep. Yep, I got it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body.
Oh, wait.
Shoot. So,
Shit.
you said Byakuya, but he was acting...
Hang on.
Presented with the opportunity.
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was... So of course
I would suggest we... There was no time. What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
Of course.
So, you said Byakuya,
Okay.
but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check...
That's a natural reaction for any.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
What the fuck?
Shoot.
There's only two...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girl...
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro.
Oh.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Of course, 'cause you're an asshole.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Because he's not the one who killed her. Got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him. Because all he did was set up the body. That's all he did.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? Yeah. What could it be? I already know. It's an extension cord. Oh wait. Yeah, the extension cord.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Yeah, it's definitely that, but I'm not gonna do it.
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
The proof that Byakuya did it is hidden within the rope? Yeah. I guess it's possible, but first... The item she had been bound with was used like a rope, but was it actually rope? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Byakuya didn't use rope, he used a very specific object.
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room.
I know you didn't
then
kill
hung
her.
her up and wrote that bloody message.
You hung her up and wrote
I
the message.
intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it.
You did the last part.
Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
Nope.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
He's doing this to fuck with you guys.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Yeah, because he's not the one who killed
We
her.
really need to. We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
But you couldn't get into the girls' locker room.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make
Wait.
it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath.
He couldn't get into the girls' locker room because he doesn't have the
What
right...
about all that bothers you?
Oh... Wait. Was that just now? Something's not right. Oh yeah. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said.
I got it!
It's a scene of the crime for
You
sure.
say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
Yeah.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene
Everything
of the
was
crime have
switched.
been anywhere else?
Everything was switched from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room.
I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
Well, yeah.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now... Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
She was killed in the boys' locker room, I bet. Because
Come on,
everything was
Makoto.
switched.
If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
The posters were switched, the carpet was switched. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. The posters and the carpet. I'm gonna say the disappearing stain. Really?
Shoot!
Looks like I embarrassed myself in front of everyone. Shit. So evidence just murder take place somewhere else. Oh, the posters would be more of a.
I got it!
There, yeah. Okay, there we go.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Yes.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Exactly.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Probably.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
That's probably
Again,
a parody
that
of
doesn't really
something.
seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right,
Yeah,
Sakura?
the carpet. That's what I tried doing.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpet was switched too?
Yeah,
But why would anyone do that?
because the blood stains on
To
it.
move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
With a...
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook
Yeah,
across
with
the card reader device.
Yeah, they use a different one,
But
right?
Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Can you?
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? The e-handbooks. Yep.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the
Shit.
ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt that it was... In which case, can we really say that she used it?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really...
I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook.
Nope, it's not there. It's then... Okay. I don't care.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have been...
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Yeah, he
Plus,
gives up easy.
Isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Yeah.
Actually,
Doesn't
the rule
stop
states
people.
that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one.
Loophole.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said.
No, I don't
She
think
used her
so.
ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
He's trying to trick you. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? No, I don't believe he did. But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
With her own hand.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
It has to do with the trial, so let him go.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Okay.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay. So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was the scene of the crime.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Okay. You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Okay.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way!
Okay.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
Yeah, probably.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Okay.
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
I don't want to.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
That
so
sounds
just
so
leave this
weird.
to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
No.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body. Okay.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled. Really?
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Exactly.
You're joking, right?
Nope.
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Yep.
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Oh, boy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Oh, boy.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Okay.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Okay.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Okay.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Exactly.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Well, it did.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
Exactly.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Yep.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Oh, no.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Except who
Okay,
killed
well,
her. Or him.
connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
No.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Of course.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Exactly.
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but...
He's right.
It's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Fuck you.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
Exactly. So we need to go through another...
Seriously gonna keep going?
Yes!
We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No! Just went over this.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
You changed so quickly.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
No, he doesn't.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Yes.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
You think it's so fucking fun. But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Okay. Yep.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
Of course
I'm
not.
sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Celeste did, but I'm not gonna do anything yet.
All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
No, it's not.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Okay, that's where I need to go.
It's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Really?
No! Not game over!
No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness account regarding Chihiro. Okay. She has more information about that.
Isn't there a single clue? Well,
Did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new...
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And
No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. It's blue, by the way.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship!
Oh my god.
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Oh, I got it. I'm not gonna say it though. I'm not gonna say it.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
What?
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Okay. Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
That's wrong.
So
No
next
kidding.
we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
How would you know that?
My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
I don't know if it's
got
this
it from
one.
the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that
Wait,
really help
let me just
us
shoot
get
that.
any closer
Let
to
me try
figuring out
Celeste's
who
account.
the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Why would you mention what color yours
You heard
is?
him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Yeah, he said that his Chihiro's tracksuit is blue. She's right, what he said just now was really odd. How would he know that? Yeah.
First of all, we know he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! He picked that. It matched the one the culprit.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue...
Yep.
No, that's wrong.
How would you know?
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a tracksuit, track jacket into a duffel bag, and then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey,
Stupid.
Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because you did it.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
Nope. They were destroyed.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Okay.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
It was in his bag. He stuffed it into the bag.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
But it found the killer.
Now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However,
it's not
Mondo
illegal to
was
do.
my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Oh, it was because of how...
What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
It was the way he talked. But because I hate him.
There was a certain turning point that ticked me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
That
Once
he
I
did.
picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
Okay.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
True.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone. You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth.
Okay, this has been for like the past 5 minutes.
What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Because you did it.
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Oh.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
What? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really?
He did?
What kind of
Can't remember
evidence?
that.
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Tell us anyway.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to...
A gun!
Chihiro's.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Heat breaks them. There's only one. How did the handbooks break? There is only one possible explanation. So,
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
So I stopped recording and did it, so I need to look at the transcript so you guys know what's going on. So, okay, how did the handbook break? I already said this, but how did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation: by hitting its weak spot. You already told us that before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you? Ugh, you remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix that.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness.
Heat.
You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just say
Tell
it.
us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
Did you?
You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Why would I
If the
want to be in
hot
there,
air
though?
of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Oh boy.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Mondo
But how'd they
and
find out?
Taka went
Monokuma
to the
said he didn't
sauna.
tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
He went in there with his clothes on.
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
Mondo.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I do.
I might know someone who did.
It's Mondo.
Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
It was Mondo. I brought their handbook into the sauna. It was Mondo. It had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was...
Here's
It was
my answer.
Mondo.
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Because he's the culprit.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill.
Yes, he would.
I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. The Broken E Handbook.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, it is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
That's bullshit. He's in a fucking biker gang! I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during their sauna showdown. If I can just prove that. Then what will show that the handbook Mondo has must actually be... It's Leon's.
Let's test Makoto. If what he says you broke your own.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
No, it's
What
Leon's.
the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Yup.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
He's borrowing.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro?
Oh my
Come on,
god.
tell him he's wrong.
He's not.
You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just
Oh
said
my
is
god.
wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Okay. I think that goes there. Oh. Okay. The one. Yeah, so it would be. Now, if any of this is wrong, I'm sorry. But I'm not doing perfect on any of this. Wait. Oh wait, no, that's right. Could have possibly been that. Because they don't see any of the other ones that would make sense. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. Wait. So then the one I used doesn't work back here? Oh no, it was Chihiro's hand. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Some of this is more than likely wrong. Hitting a switch, then Byakuya comes in. With the fucking... this thing... Wait. Sauna pieces later, I bet. Alright. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay. Bloodlust. And then... Hey! Get back here. If any of this is wrong, it's gonna automatically...
The killer is
do it. So,
you!
There we go.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Like that.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
I was gonna say that's probably wrong. Nope, it's not.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Ah, shit. No, I didn't lay out my reasoning right. I need to rearrange the events of the case. It's this one that's wrong. So something over here is wrong, I bet. This over here I'm kind of okay with. Yeah, all this is kind of good. If anything, it's... No, that's fine.
The killer is you!
Try that again.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
What the fuck is it? It's not that or that. Remove. Okay, let's try that.
The killer is
Oh my
you!
god.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Finally, okay.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. changed the layout of the boys and girls locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Because he's an asshole.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
I did it.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo was the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Oh boy. Wow, that was lag.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
I'm refusing to use fever time, guys.
I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Okay. Oh, shut up, Taka.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
You don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Alright. So. And with that, I think this is a good end to this chapter.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up.
And with that nice little end note, whoops, I think that this is a good place to stop, and I will continue on with the education. Oh dear, with the execution. So, and that will definitely be it. So, I will see you next time.